Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. This is your friend Daniel Hutchins. This is another edition in Late Night Videos. Like I have promised you guys before. Like I've promised you guys before. So, as you might notice, my room is kind of tinted into the idea of the red lights. For sake of reason, because we are in fall and red is a color of fall. Don't you know? And also, it is the color of Canada, which also is a color of fall. Therefore, that is why maple syrups are made in forests, up in farms, up in plantations, up in Canada. But that's not what we're talking about. So make no mistake, we know none to be made. But we are hopping on our friend on our phone right here. And yes, we are actually going to read you something off in comic book resources. Yeah, we're gonna read something off comic book resources. Okay, what is going on comic book resources? There is another X-Men actor who wants to take a shot at the franchise now that they have improved it. You want to know who that is? Well, now we know. Evan Peters, who we know, uh, Quicksilver. Yeah, Quicksilver. Yeah, no, Quicksilver. He wants to come back to X Men. He made his first appearance in Day of Future Past. Hence, this movie was directed by Bryan Singer. We did a special about this before on Hutchins Hut. Also, is a key role where he actually was otherwise known to be part of the idea where he broke his father out of prison. In the Days of Future Past story, being both a critical, commercial, and financial success upon their release, there's very good reviews on that movie, making it one of the best X-Men movies of the 21st century. Therefore, the $746 million made by that movie, with only a budget on 200 million, more specifically, he's returned to the world Quicksilver just 2 times later, only in X-Men Apocalypse, and that movie had failed to deliver, where critics and audiences do not see the same ways as the Day of Future Past. However, he's appeared as a cameo, yes, as a cameo on Deadpool 2. Reminder, that movie happened in 2018, 2 years after the first one. And it wasn't until 2021 that he has given a chance to step in the Marvel Universe proper, where he plays out as himself in the 2021 series we know, WandaVision, which we also talked about here on the channel. So, instead of playing who we thought he was going to be, he ends up coming back to play as Wanda's brother after falling under her trap. He has reprised the role and his idea later in Agatha All Along, the sequel that happened with Catherine Hahn. Again, that happened like a year or two ago. Again, which adds a new unsettling layer to the character's devastation story. Now, are we going to see him in the next movie? Well, yes. He's making a major turning point in his franchises. However, he's no stranger in the comic book universe. In fact, he has been in the universe before. So let's not make that mistake again. Because now his next time we'll see him again is going to be in the next movie of Tron. Tron Ares, which is happening in theaters on October the 10th. We're not breaking down per se about Tron Ares, mostly because it's not as important as the other stuff we talk about here on Hutchins Hut. Now, unless you want me to, I can, but remember, that is just, not as important as the other things we like to talk about in the universe, despite the fact it's also owned by Disney. Disney owns the license to Tron. Hence, why are we making a third one after, how bad the second one was? And if you were in the 80s, you would know what the first one was. So, make no mistake when there aren't none. Make no mistake when there aren't none. Remember, guys, remember, it's important to realize why we are here to fix the universe, okay? And so now, I conclude this video.